We're out for a little hike today in the Tonto National Forest along the Salt River in Arizona.
It's a beautiful day, and we decided to take a break and answer some viewer questions.
So first up has to do with gear. Specifically, is there any piece of gear that we wish that we had? And I guess they mean RV gear, or maybe just gear in general, camping gear or whatever. But I think there's one item that comes to mind right now that would fit all of those. Just general life and camping and RV living would be something like a big power supply, like a Jackery or something like that.
Yeah, especially if it had a solar option, it would really give me a little bit more peace of mind to have something that had a solar option to it, so that, you never know, even if you're not boondocking and you're hooked up to power and the power goes out, having something that would at least give you some backup power would be really neat.
I mean, sometimes we want to power a little refrigerator in our truck when we're traveling, and that would be great as a backup when we are just not running the engine and we need to have power. We could do the battery for so long, but it would be nice to have something like that. And like Susan said, we could have solar with it. So something like a Jackery or comparable, something is good or better, that kind of thing. I mean, we carry a lot of smaller power supplies, 20, 30,000 milliamps, but these other power supplies that we're talking about are like 1,000 watts. So that would be really great. So that would probably be now, but this is a fluid thing. We're always needing something, and fortunately when we get something, we get rid of something, and our budget gets in the way a lot of times of just getting anything we want anytime we want. So that would be it.
Another question we get asked quite often is, do I, Susan, drive the RV? The short answer is no, never. Well, actually, I can't say never. I did drive it 10 feet once.
Yeah, that was good that you got to at least kind of feel what it's like to pull it a few feet. But yeah, Susan's driven larger rigs before. We had a motorhome, and she drove that some.
Very little, but
yeah,
I did.
Mostly on straightaways, on open highway. She likes that. And
I've never driven anything towing, though. Any kind of a trailer at all, not even a U-Haul, a boat, or anything. I think driving our large truck is enough of a challenge for me, so.
Yeah, it just seems like in my life I've driven a lot of different things. Now it's a fifth wheel. Before it was a pull trailer or a motorhome. A submarine, fire truck, all kinds of things I've driven in my life. But yeah, Susan's we're getting there. Maybe somehow she'll be driving more often. Which leads to the next question: is there something that we're not doing that we wish we could be doing differently than we're doing now? And well, maybe not right now, but in the near future, we wish we were traveling just a little bit more. And that's not to say that we're not doing what we want to do now, because we are, and it's by design. We actually chose a fifth wheel because we wanted to stay in places longer and then branch out from there and explore different areas. And we enjoy that quite a bit, and I can see that going on a lot, but there is something on the horizon that we're kind of teasing ourselves with now and thinking about, which would make us travel a lot.
Yeah,
more.
It would make it a lot easier to travel and potentially allow me to drive and kind of help out with that, which would also encourage more travel, because we could go farther in a day with, not just having one driver. So that is definitely something that we are working towards, is to come up with some sort of situation where we're able to travel more.
Yeah, and that could be something like a truck camper, since we already have a truck. It could be a small, tinier pull trailer with maybe some camping equipment options to kind of enhance the camp. And then we could, if we did that, we'd be able to use the back of our truck with a shell or something for more storage or whatever. We haven't quite nailed it down, but it is something that we think could be in the not so far off future. So we're going to change things up a little bit at some point, and we're excited about it.
Yeah, for sure. Another question that we get is, do we have plans to travel the East Coast of the United States? Yes, we do. And that kind of ties in with the last question of the, smaller way of getting around and traveling more. I think that would be a lot more comfortable doing in a smaller rig than what we have now. Not that we would get rid of the RV necessarily, but
we'd park it for a little bit and that would be home, and we just kind of spring out from there. And yeah, that would allow us to cover more ground quicker with both of us driving, and we could do a lot more on the move type things. The way we're set up now, we kind of want to do things a lot slower and exploring immediate areas and that type of thing. But this would allow us to just pick up and just constantly go and explore and do some of the things that we have planned. So east is really on our list, and that is a target for us, and we have some plans for that. But you know, we're also having a great time exploring the West. I'd say probably 2/3 of the national parks are in the West, and we love national parks. There's wide open spaces out here, and it's really very conducive to fifth wheel travel, in my opinion.
Yeah, the East is definitely much more populated, but it is a place that we do want to visit, me especially, not having traveled very much in the East at all.
Yeah, we've flown out there and visited a few states, and I've been in every single state in the East, both on foot and traveling in vehicle. By foot I mean hiking long trails and things like that, and done a lot of exploration there and lived there. So we have a lot of interest in that, so we're looking forward to it. The last question that we're going to answer in this video is, would we get another dog if something happens to our dog Barkley if he passes away?
And we probably get this question because a lot of viewers know that Barkley is getting up there in years. He has lost his hearing, most of his sight. His legs shake, and he's still happy and loves sniffing and going for walks, but as you know, we know dogs have a much shorter lifespan than we do.
Don't last forever.
And they don't last forever, so it is inevitable that at some point we will lose Barkley. And I think for me, I would not have plans to get another dog, especially not right away. It's a lot of worry and responsibility, and not that we don't love him to death, but that's probably why it's worry and responsibility, is because we do love him so much. But just getting a break from that, I think.
Yeah, it makes sense after a dog passes. We've been through that before, and we absolutely love dogs. We do a lot on behalf of dogs, or at least a lot for our lives. You know, we get involved in efforts of raising money for dogs that need homes and things like that, and we enjoy that type of thing. And I'm not going to say never that we wouldn't, because it might be kind of inevitable if we're being honest, but we are going to really feel out the situation and make sure wherever we're at in life and what we're doing that we can provide as good as we are for Barkley right now. We want to make sure that we're able to continue to do that type of thing with our lifestyle, and that's going to be very important. But, you know, I'm sure if you've been through this, losing a dog, you know how it is, and it's very difficult, and it's heart-wrenching, and so, you know, time tells, I guess.
Yeah, it's something we don't really like to think about, but do need to plan for. So.
Yes. Well, that wraps up this question and answer video. If you have any questions for us, feel free to leave them in the comments section or send them via email from our website.
And as always, please remember to share, subscribe, and click on that little notification bell.
Thanks for watching.
I got a question for you. What are you eating now?
Oh, it's like Norwegian biscuit bush or something like that.
Are you sure it's edible? It doesn't look like it tastes very good.